on. So, if you don't know this about me already, I hate PvP. That is not my cup of tea in this game. I actively avoid playing PvP whenever I can. I do struggle to get the 6225, and then whenever I feel like I have like a meta type deck, I do try to go for the 6925 trophy. But I've only done that, I want to say 3 times in the entirety of the like 4 years that I've been playing this game. So I don't struggle for that. And my favorite mode in this game is actually Dragon Rift. Ironically, it is the least amount of content I have on this page, because for the most part, you kind of just play whatever your best deck is, in the same way that in PvP you just kind of play whatever your best deck is, and then in co-op you just play whatever your best deck is, and that's the thing that you play. But the thing about this mode that I love, that it's probably, like most people don't use it like this, I use it to test out decks that I know are good, but I don't have personally leveled up. And the first thing that I ever tried while doing this was Monk. I invested a little bit into Monk. I got it to Illumination so that I could use Equilibrium. And when Monk was starting to get really good, back when it was back when Illumination worked on the lowest rank thing, and it was 100%, and it would always upgrade the lowest ranked monk on the field. That's when I started playing Monk Equilibrium in Dragon Rift, and I started just like using it just to use it. It was allowing me to do light faction battles. It was helping out my team, and I felt like I had it reasonably leveled up to where it would work. And Monk actually became my favorite thing to use in this. I think that Monk Equilibrium against a dragon, any dragon actually, it's very easy to recover in. So like even if you get your Monk destroyed, it's not like if you were playing Dark Inquisitor and your Dark Inquisitor got destroyed, right? You have so many other monks on the field to help you recover. And then you can just immediately recover, no matter how many things get frozen or destroyed or leveled down. It's just such a redundant deck, and I really like it with against dragons. And then the next thing that I started doing was I started playing Tesla. And I didn't have a high level Tesla. I think I had a level 9. And then ever since then, I started slowly investing into Tesla, because it is technogenic. Ironically, Riding Hood has been, and it has been pointed out to me, Riding Hood is also technogenic, but my reasoning for getting Tesla, at the time was that it is a technogenic unit, and most people don't want to play all of these technogenic squares. So if me just going down here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 technogenic squares that everybody just avoided for the entirety of this Dragon Rift. And that's not even to say the ones that some people may have already done. And it's because there's not a lot of good technogenic cards. Now that they've nerfed Corsair, Corsair doesn't really work. Now that they nerfed Jay, a Sharpshooter deck doesn't work. Engineer is terrible. Nobody uses Pyrotechnic. And Robot isn't really a DPS card. It's more of a support card. You can attempt to build a Robot DPS deck, but it's very difficult. So your choices are basically Riding Hood and Tesla. If I were to give you a suggestion, I would recommend Riding Hood, because Riding Hood is one of the best top 3 cards. And so if you are going to invest into either of these, because they're both event units, I would invest into Riding Hood. But for the purposes of this video, my newest thing that I have taken into Dragon Rift, just so that I could use something, is an Enchant Sword DPS deck. Now, I know Fun Mix Time somewhere is jumping up and down because this is her deck of choice, and this is my own version of the deck that I use in Dragon Rift. A lot of the Magic Council squares also have the one where it's lightning quick, where you get flyers that are unaffected by any amount of damage, and you have to slow them on the field until their timer expires. So that then that's when they take damage. They're basically invincible until a timer runs out, and so you have to slow them. Most people use, I would assume, Trapper, and I found a really good usage out of a Cold Mage, mostly because of the heat leak. I think Deep Freeze is a potential, but I think I must have been using Fierce Cold. I do like Deep Freeze though, but to do 15 every 15 attacks it freezes for 4 seconds. I actually no I think I do like Fierce Cold, because slowing them down on top the 5% additional on top of the amount that it's already being slowed, that's probably just consistently better. I'm using Cracking Ice. I guess I was using Heat Leak, but I basically never merge them out for that to even matter. And then I use Deadly Cold. The Summoner Talents are just enhanced summoning, and then my Dryad Talents are just Fairy, Gift, and then Invigorating Fruit. Because this is Dragon Rift, you don't have an opponent, so there's no reason to use Poisonous Fruit, and so you just use Invigorating Fruit. And then Enchant Sword, it's the standard... it's the standard ones that you would use for Enchant Sword DPS. And then I'm just running a J with Growth Trial Spear and then Mage Robe. And for some reason, whenever I do Magic Council ones that are not a bruiser, for some reason, it's almost always lightning quick. And so this just became my deck of choice. And I really like it. If you've never played Enchant Sword DPS before... essentially, whenever you upgrade, or whenever you merge enchant swords, when you get to the number, the merges on the bottom, there's a number, a stack number. When it gets to 6, your next merge is whatever, sword you merge, whatever 2 swords that you merge, that will become a new, ancient sword, and it will attack. It'll have a stronger attack than a regular sword. Also, whenever you merge swords, your ancient swords, your main ones, get all of the charges. They absorb every single blue charge. This deck is very specifically good in this mode because unlike co-op or unlike PvP, you only get blue swords. And so this is specifically good in both co-op as well as Dragon Rift. The deck that I wanted to showcase, I believe, is the second one. No, it was the first one. It's this one. And I think I did really good. And I think it's not something that I would recommend you take into regular PvP, although I have seen some people do insane damage with Enchant Sword DPS. But I think that Dragon Rift allows you to do fun things that you wouldn't normally do in regular PvP, because in regular PvP you just want to use the best thing that you have, and there's not a lot of room to play with like just random fun decks. Like in no reality would you ever use Cold Mage in PvP. And then in co-op, like, you only want to use, like, whatever your best deck is. But in specifically Dragon Rift, it allows you to use, like, a combination of wacky cards, just to try them out, just to see how you like them. I think that I did really well here. The thing about Enchant Sword DPS is that you don't want a lot of Ancient Swords. I want to say the number that people use in PvP is 3. I think I go with 4 here, and the reason why is just board space. You want to allow yourself to have room to summon in new enchant swords, and so that you can merge them out so that you can get higher stacks, because the higher stacks is what is going to increase your damage. Obviously you want to use Growth Tile, I think I really like J speed tiles. The amount of speed that an enchant sword already attacks pretty fast, and then when you see it on a speed tile, it just attacks so much quicker. And it's just like you're taking something that already attacks fast and making it attack even faster. But you'll see, like, as this game progresses, the amount of, like, increasing damage that this deck does, it does a just giant, like a much bigger amount of damage than you would think. And I'm just gonna let you watch the rest of this game. I'm not really gonna be able to commentate over it, obviously, because I'm not live playing this, so I might be like, oh yeah, you should probably, I would merge these two swords, and then if I don't merge the two swords and I do something else, I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't merge those, but that's what I would do if I was playing it now, so I'm not gonna go through that insanity. So I'm just gonna let you enjoy this. But yeah, it's just, I really like Dragon Rift because of this, because it allows you to test out decks that you wouldn't normally play in PvP because they're not at their, like, you don't have like a level 15 version of it. And so yeah, if you play Magic Council and you don't have a Max Demon Hunter, that was another reason why I picked this deck. I don't have a Max Demon Hunter, but I do have a Max Enchant Sword, and I think that this is really good. So enjoy. Actually, a couple extra things. Because you're relying on the randomness of Approving Glance to cleanse yourself, if you are gonna face a King Pudding or a Dark Priest, obviously if you're not running a Mermaid, it is difficult. It becomes difficult to cleanse. So just leaving a bunch of things on the field, knowing that you're not going to use it, so that it can get, so that everything has targets, and like the King Puddings are more likely to hit all of your random things that you're just going to merge out anyway. That was the strategy that I was using right there. Also, you know what? This might be a hot take. This is the better Crystalmancer deck. This is, if you like that Crystalmancer way of attacking, this just looks like a better Crystalmancer deck. Take that, Crystalmancer. I hate the Crystalmancer deck. Steal that screenshot for my thumbnail. Actually, is that a better one? Oh, I just missed it. That's so sad. That would have been a cool screenshot, though. I like that one a lot more. I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to use the first one. Thank you guys for watching.